about how to implement Bitszer into a new Unity project. So we'll start off by creating a new project. We can just make this a 2D project, and we're going to call this Bitszer Demo Video. So we'll go ahead and create that. It's going to store into my local Dropbox folder. I just created a 2D one, or you can create a 3D one as well. So let's wait for that to open. Okay, there we go. So we have our blank project here, and the first thing we want to do is we want to convert this into we want it to be just an Android project. So we're going to switch platforms. All right, now we have this blank Android platform here. Let's go ahead and create let's add some UI components. We'll put in the canvas with an event system. Inside our canvas, let's create a text field, and in this text field, we're just going to call this health potions title. All right, and let's make that a little bigger. We'll move that up a little bit. Let's make that quite a bit bigger. All right, and then let's center that there. Let's also change the color on that. Let's make that green. All right, and the text, we're just going to call this our health potions. All right, let's create another UI element. It'll be another text one, and this one we're going to call our health potions text. All right. We'll also let's move that up a little bit there, and we're going to set the text to 0, and we're going to increase the size of that to 100 as well. All right, let's put that right in the middle there. And let's change the color of this to red. Nice red color. Let's make it bold just so we can see it a little better. There we go. So we got a text health potions and a text 0. Now let's create some buttons here. So we got our button. We want this button to be a little bigger, and so let's increase the width quite a bit, and we'll increase the size. And then each button comes with its own text, and we are going to call this one just add potions. All right, and this is gonna and this button is going to be called our add potions button. All right. Oh, let's increase the size of that so we can actually see that. Let's try 75. All right, that looks good. Let's create one more button here. This button, oh, let's move that down. There we go. All right, let's make it the same size as the last one. Let's change this text to Open Auction House. All right, let's change the name of this button to our Auction House Open Collected. Perfect. Oh, that text is still really small. Let's try 75. Yeah, that works. Okay, so now we got this simple layout here. We have just a couple text, health potions with the number 0. Then we're going to add some potions to that, and then we're going to open our auction house. And the reason is every game, you somehow create or collect these resources, and the health potions are going to be our resources. All right, so now let's just create an empty object, and we're going to call this our game manager. Okay. So our game manager, and we have our very basic game here. Got our one sample scene in our assets. Now let's create another folder in our assets, and let's call this scripts. So we got our scripts folder, and inside of our scripts we want to create a new C# script, and we're going to call this game manager. All right, so there's our script there. Open that up, and we're going to make it so that whenever we click the Add Potions button, this number increments. Let's open that up. There we go. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. And first thing we need access to that build, our health potions text. So there we go, we have that now. And now we want to create a function that is going to increment every time we click the button. So I got this function here called add random health potion. And all it's going to do is it's going to look at what is there currently, get the current amount. It's going to create a random number, and then it's going to take that random number, it's going to add it to the current amount. We're just going to get a random number from 1 to 10. Then it's going to take that new amount, and it's going to set the text for health potions to the new amount. There we go. And let's import the Unity engine.ui. All right, so there we go. That should work. Let's go ahead and save that. Let's go back to our game. All right, there you go. You can see all this is here. So that's what we want to do. So we want to go to our Add Potions button, and we're going to set up our game manager and our inside of our game manager. Let's add our script. There we go. And then the Health Potions button here, we want to add that there. Perfect. All right, and then inside of our Add Potions button, we want to add this component at runtime. Then we're going to say our game manager with the function of add random health potions. There we go. So then whenever we click on our add potions, it's going to call our function. So let's see if that works. There we go. And then you can see it's adding a random number every time to our text field there. All right. But whenever we stop, we push play again, it always starts off back at 0. The reason is that this isn't persistent. It's not saving this value anywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Bitszer to store that value, and that way we can call that value at any time. So that way our users can take their health potions, they can post them on the auction house where those values can be bought, sold. They can buy values off the auction house. So this value can go up or down outside of our game. So we always need to know what it is in relation to the Bitszer platform. So what we need to do is we need to go back to our game manager here, and we need to add all of our Bitszer files. So the Bitszer is pretty easy to add. We'll just go to our demo video here. You see mine saved in my Dropbox account. And we need to add all of our files there. So I have all my files. All these files are available for everyone for free. So they're really easy to open up. I'm just going to copy them into the assets folder. There we go. So now it has AWS SDK, has Bitszer, a link, and then our plugins has all the Android files that we need. So that's all we need to do there. And we'll let that import those and recompile. Perfect. Looks like that's done. So let's go back here. There we go. I'm using Bitszer. You can see that now. And so now we want to implement our auction house. So let's put all of our auction house features here. So first thing, let's get access to all of our needed variables. So let's get our component. Okay. There we go. All right. So the first thing we want to do is we want to, as soon as we call our game, or as soon as our game opens, we want to initiate, we want to initialize the auction house. Okay, so now we need to create this function, initialize auction house. And inside this auction house, first thing I like to do is just add a debugger, so that way I know where I'm at if I'm ever running into problems. And then we want to call auction house initialize. And this is a Bitszer variable, and so it needs an argument, and the argument is a string that you get from Bitszer. And this is a unique string. It allows us to identify your game, and that way whenever people open up the auction house, it only pulls assets for your game. All right, so whenever the auction house is uninitialized, it's going to call our auction house initialize function. And then if anything changes in the auction house, we want to know about it. If our players have bought or sold something on the auction house, or if they posted something for sale, we want to know about it, so that way they can't be playing with those same items. So if anything changes, let us know about it. So let's create our function for on auction house initialized. And let's add our debug statement here, so that way we know that our auction house is indeed initialized. We're going to create a dictionary of items, and it's going to just get items, auction house.get items. And then our variable is called health potions. So we're gonna get our dictionary, and here's our key is health potions, because that's what ours is. And then we're gonna set that string to our health potions text. All right, and if anything changed, we want to know about it. So we go. So now we have this function that's going to look, and it's going to look for the changes that have happened. Let's add our quick debugger. So there's our logs, so that way we can see where we're at. And then we need our dictionary to get our items. And then we're going to look at anything that's changed inside of health potions. So there's our key. And then we want to get just the deltas for that. So we're going to call the Bitszer function items deltas. And then we're going to see how much they changed. All right. So there's our health potion delta string. It's going to look at our health potion deltas. And if it's greater than 0, it's going to see what the change is. And then we want to set that string. Perfect. There we go. Let's go ahead and save that. So now we've initialized it. It's going to look for it. It's going to see if anything's changed. And I'm going to go ahead and put in a string that I know works here. But you really have to get this from us, from Bitszer, and we'll provide you a string, and then it'll be unique just to your game. It's increasing it, but it's not saving anything. So what we want to do is we want to save it every time to the auction house. So let's create that function here. So whenever we save to the auction house, we'll create our dictionary. Just so we have our string value pair. And in our dictionary, we're just going to add the amount we have under the title with the key health potions. And then we're going to call our auction house set items. There we go. So now whenever we increase, we're also going to save that value as well. Okay, all right. So let's see, we'll play. We'll add potions. We're at 3, we're at 9, 17, 19. There we go. And so now whenever I push stop, and I go back to play, we'll see how many we have. And we have 19 still. So it's pulling that straight from Bitszer. Right, so now we want to open the auction house, and to do that, we'll go back to our game manager. And all we need to do is create a function. No, I don't like this here. I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this here. Yeah. So this has just anything in here is specific to our auction house. And so we'll create this function called Open Auction House. There we go. Now let's save that. Let's go back to our game and let's link up our button. So we're going to add a component. There we go. All right. And inside our game manager, we've got Open Auction House. Okay. Now Open Auction House won't work straight from Unity. So what we need to do is we need to actually build this. To build this, we need to make sure of a couple things. One, in build settings, under player settings, we need to make sure that this value here in package name matches exactly our, inside of our manifest, we have a package here. And I named mine Bitszer.demo. Right? So you can go ahead and change this to whatever you want your package name to be called. But it's important that inside of player settings that it's exactly the same. Alright, so that mine is. We're also going to increase this to API level 19. And so now we have our version, package name matches what's inside our Android manifest, and our API level is 19. I'm going to fire up a Unity, an emulator, so that we can back. Looks like it's fully loaded onto our emulator. So then we click Add Potions. It's going to add those potions. We click Auction House. It's going to open the Auction House. And I've already created a Bitszer account, so I'll go ahead and log in. And the first time logging in, it takes a little bit. It's pulling all my information. Alright, there we go. And we have logged into the auction house. Alright, and so if we want to go back to game, then there we go. So it's pretty simple. You can see those features here. Alright, thank you for watching my tutorial.